Well, the Liberals have already been proved right on two warnings about Labor they gave during the election on boats and on China. One, on the very day of the election, a boat of asylum seekers from Sri Lanka tried their luck. The second in days. Lured, were they, by the idea that a new Labor government's going to be softer? And two, turns out also correct, China did want Labor to win the election. China's Premier has now sent Anthony Albanese personal congratulations at his win and hinted it could take us out of the deep freeze if Albanese was just a little bit nicer than Scott Morrison. He was saying the Chinese side's ready to work with the Australian side to review the past, look into the future and uphold the principles of mutual respect and mutual benefit. But on both these issues, Anthony Albanese also proved the Liberals wrong. The boat people already sent home. Okay. The Chinese Communist Party, they got a slap. You see, Albanese has gone to Japan for a meeting with the US, Japan and India called the Quad, and immediately signed a deal that China just as immediately damned, a trade deal between 13 countries to help counter the threat of the communist regime. And Albanese was polite but cool on the Chinese Premier, sending him a message and an olive branch.
I have received now a letter of congratulations from Premier Lee, as I have from other world leaders, and I welcome that. We will respond appropriately in time when I return to Australia.
I got to be honest, I got to call that a good start, with a low degree of difficulty. I accept that. Although Albanese at this Quad meeting in Tokyo couldn't help but wildly exaggerate the global warming threat with a falsehood.
We will act in recognition that climate change is the main economic and security challenge for the island countries of the Pacific.
Well, that's actually completely false, because we're actually getting fewer cyclones in our region, not more, and Pacific Atoll Islands are 3 times more likely to grow, not drown. And the rest, almost half those islands, are stable in size. But all in all, this meeting was PR gold for Albanese, who also got a shout out from the US President. It was all praise and a little condescension.
It's wonderful to be together with friends and at this transformative moment in the world. And we are at a transformative moment. That's what this is about, democracies versus autocracies, and we have to make sure we deliver. Prime Minister Albanese, I welcome you to your first Quad meeting. Like I said, you got on a plane, you were sworn in, got in a plane, and if you fall asleep while you're here, it's okay. Because I don't know how you're doing it, but it's really quite extraordinary. Just getting off the campaign trail as well.
Joining me is a former intelligence official, Paul Monk, author of books on China, among other things, and a former head of the China desk in the Defence Intelligence Organisation. Paul Monk, great to see you again. So Albanese wins an election on Saturday, sworn as Prime Minister yesterday, is in Tokyo today, talking with the US, Japan and India about containing China. It's been an amazing whirlwind. How has he handled this so far?
I think he's handled it with considerable tact and aplomb, to be honest. And I think the signature note that he struck was when he said he intended to model himself in terms both of cabinet governance here and in terms of foreign and security policy on Bob Hawke. And I don't know whether Paul Keating will see that as a slap on the wrist, but technically it is, since Keating is rampantly pro-Beijing. So it was very interesting and I think significant to see Albanese come out and say that. And it was a coincidence, of course, that the Quad meeting was immediately after that. Sorry?
Yeah, well, no, I give him a big tick too. I agree with you. And we shall see if it's sustained, but so far so good. I mean, obviously it's a low hurdle at this stage, but we'll see.